Welcome to the Crimson Comedy Show! Welcome to the Crimson Comedy Show. I'm your host, Andy. Today we got a very special guest today. He's a comedian, producer, and a booker from East Los Angeles.
Yeah, I produce and book shows out of Southeast LA, the Pico Rivera area, but I'm from South Central, and right now I'm living out in North Hollywood, so I kind of made it a little.
Yeah, give it up for Ernesto Ledezma, all of that.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having
You
me.
came from Hollywood?
Yeah, I stay out in North Hollywood, right by the Burbank Airport, which is good because I used to fly out of LAX to go do shows. Now, whenever I do fly out, I fly out of right there, right like 5 minutes from my house. I could walk to the airport. It's perfect.
I've never even been on an airplane before.
Really, dude, the first time I was ever on an airplane was when I started doing shows out of out of state to go do comedy.
How old were you when you started doing that?
I think I was in my late 20s.
That's badass because I started comedy late, like at 34, so like I'm way behind. But
And how old are you now? Like 35,
I'm
36?
37. It's almost 2.5 years I've been doing comedy,
Gosh, dude, you look good for almost 40, to be honest.
and almost 40 motherfucker. I still got 3 more years.
Nah, that's how I be counting, dude. I'm like, oh, I'm 32. That's almost 35. 35, damn, I'm almost 40.
It's crazy. Like if you see like old movies, like someone 37 in like 1980s looks 60. Like they look old as fuck. I Love Lucy. On the show, they're like in their 40s, and like Ethel and whatever his name is, the neighbors,
Yeah.
they look like they're in their 70s, and they're like in their 40s during that. And the oldest dude, the husband, Ethel's, I think he was the youngest one, and he looked the oldest. That's just crazy. Like,
I think they had their responsibilities in check back then. They all had they were married at 20. They had a house before they were 30. They were like retired when they were like 60, and like it was crazy. There was like a real solid blueprint that almost everybody followed. And now everyone's kind of like gotten over the fact that you just become a 9 to 5 guy and just come home and have a family. Everyone's like, what else can I do with my time?
that's when I started comedy. I was a 9 to 5 guy with nothing to do after work besides watching the Dodgers and drinking beer in my garage.
Yeah, dude.
And then I started comedy, and then I've been doing this podcast for almost, in a couple weeks, it'll be a year. So
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there's obviously nobility and being like a provider and stuff like that. But so many people, forget that you're not your job. That's
Yeah.
when you have people that are like they're police officers and they don't know how to clock out, or a teacher and they don't know how to clock out. They just think that they are their job, but you could still go doing anything. Like it wasn't too late. You want to go do stand up, and obviously you're podcasting. I think that's the difference now is that it all this stuff that's artistic and expressive. I think it keeps us a lot younger. So we're like in our 30s thinking, I'm like, dude, I'm not a day past 17.
Yeah, I quit smoking like a month ago, so hopefully I gained some more days back.
Yeah, tobacco or marijuana?
Well, I've kind of smoked weed here and there. I was never really much of a smoker, but it wasn't tobacco, it was vape, I guess, or I guess nicotine. What do you call vaping? That's not tobacco, is it?
Yeah, that counts. That's honestly, yeah, it's funny because
I don't know what to call it.
that's the vibe that people have. They're like, no, I don't really smoke cigarettes. I vape, and it's like, but vaping is like streamlined cigarettes,
I
right?
feel like I vaped way more than I ever smoked cigarettes because you could just do it anywhere. Like I would do it in my house. I do it on the pod. You watched the previous episodes. I'm just sucking on that thing like a binky the whole time.
And it's more, right? You're getting more out of
Yeah.
it. It's like those pouches that people take now. It's like
I can't do those. I almost threw up. What are they called?
like Zyn pouches
Yes,
and stuff
I
like that.
tried one and I accidentally picked up the strongest one you can get. I didn't know. So I had them for like a week and I just felt nauseous every time I had one. So I ended up giving them away. But yeah, that shit was hardcore. And I was a fucking big time smoker. So
Yeah, no, those things are crazy, man. Those things are crazy. Plus, like I said, I think it gives you a lot. It's like it's like smoking a whole pack of cigarettes in one sitting. It's completely too much.
yeah, I was bad. I used to wake up like in the middle of the night, like you wake up at the middle of the night, like oh you should go get a glass of water. Like no, I'm gonna hit my vape. Like
Oh,
I
dude.
start scrolling TikTok. It was bad. Like I finally had to quit just because it became hard to get. You can't buy them anywhere. They're like, it's like buying weed now. Like remember back then how you had to like find somewhere to that sold weed and it was hard to get to. That's how like nicotine is now, or menthol or flavored cigarettes or anything.
Oh, right. Yeah, I like to joke that it's harder to get those flavored tobacco than it is weed these days. You
Yeah,
have to
it's like backwards now. Before it's like you had to meet a fucking drug dealer behind 7-Eleven, and now you got to meet the same guy behind
to get
7-Eleven.
blunt wraps. Yeah. Yeah.
They don't sell flavored blunt wraps no more, huh?
No, a lot of places I think in California they're like with menthols, it's all flavor stuff. So now, but I think I noticed they started getting away with it because now it's like the blunt wraps and blunts in general they have names like it's a Yankee candle.
Oh,
Because before it used to be like grape and like peach
I
and
remember the Swishers. Like I don't think did anyone ever smoke a Swisher? They would just cut it, throw the tobacco outside the liquor store. Do you think anyone ever actually smoked the actual cigar?
nah, dude. In the hood, they have products that they sell at the liquor store that are not for that. It's for secondary uses. Like they sell crack pipes at the liquor store all the time. They put a little flower in it. You seen it?
Nah.
It's like a little pipe, and they put a flower in it, and it's a crack pipe. You know what
I've
the
seen them at the weed shops or the head shops. That they call them, the
yeah
smoke shops.
yeah. They act like it's like oh, it's just a miniature vase. And it's like, dude,
A crack boss.
yeah, but then it gets you thinking because it's like, well, okay, so then they ordered that, right? They ordered that under their business name. That means there's a warehouse out there, like somewhere in, hopefully not in California, but somewhere in California making crack pipes, delivering to shops, and it's like, but meanwhile, it's illegal to smoke crack, right?
And you know what's crazy is that like in LA and stuff like that, they have like they hand out syringes and shit like that to the drug. Like my wife's white, right? She doesn't know anything. I'm from the hood. Like I know, like she doesn't know shit about the hood, nothing,
Hmm.
right? We went to LA to go to like a art museum for her birthday. She wanted to go to some hip hop art
Like
museum.
downtown LA or
Yeah,
something. That's rough area right
and
there.
we were waiting outside. There's time frames when you have to go in. They let you in, like groups, when you can go in, right? We're waiting outside, and there's a lady at the bus stop just shooting up, right? And then she just gets up and leaves leaves her needle on the ground. And my girl's like, ugh, go pick it up and throw that away. I was like, no,
Yeah,
like
me pick it up.
I am not picking up a used needle off the fucking park bench or the bus bench.
Dude,
Like,
even the
no.
even the lady that just shut up, she's like, "Oh, I'm not picking
But
up a used needle," and she
it's
used it.
crazy that it was broad daylight right there in front of a crowd of people. I was like, damn.
See, it's crazy because sometimes people get offended and like they're like, "Why are you messing with these people?" And I'm like, "I'm not messing with them," but I'm like, "You gotta check these people."
Yeah.
Like people don't, they're too afraid, right? But you gotta like somebody was hitting a pipe right in front of my apartment. I gotta go out there and be like,
Oh
"Hey
yeah.
man, can you not do that shit?" And then they're like, "Well, I'm not." I'm like, "Dude, get the fuck out of here," right?
Especially if there's kids around.
Yeah, you gotta honestly, you just gotta make it unsafe for them. It becomes like that thing, where they're making it unsafe for you. It's like almost how you ever meet someone that they hug you for too long. The only way to cut that out is to hug them for longer than they're trying to hug you.
Grab their ass so they
Yeah,
make it awkward.
yeah, you gotta make it more uncomfortable for them than it is for you.
I saw these videos where outside of some apartments they played like like noises to keep people like keep people from doing drugs. It's like they play like annoying noises
That's
to
right.
keep them away.
That's right. They also do in a lot of places in South Central. They'll have obvious. It's 7-Elevens. I swear to God, they put up a new 7-Eleven. It's like they come with crackheads in the front. They're like always there, right? So they play classical music outside one of the
It
7-Eleven.
drives them crazy.
Dude, that's what the idea is. But now
They're
I'm
just smart crackheads
yeah,
now,
sophisticated
listening
crackheads.
to Mozart's.
Yeah, they're like they fucking know like scales and they're like
Yeah, cause every time I go out to LA, like I said, I'm used to the hood. Like I know, like and my girls always get scared, like with the bums on the sidewalks and stuff. She'll like all of a sudden she wants to hold my hand. Like
yeah. All of a sudden she's
you
romantic.
don't want to hold my hand out here, but out there you want to hold hands. All right.
Yeah, dude, no, man, that's how it is. But I have a girlfriend, she's white too, and she grew up in Thousand Oaks. It's a fairly nice area. When I first started dating her, she lived in Simi Valley. It's less nice, but still very nice. And then I would go over there, and I only ever saw one homeless person. And I went to the store, and when I was coming back, driving back from the store, they were already getting arrested. So I was like, damn,
That
they're
was
good
quick.
here. Yeah.
So where are you from?
I grew up in South Central. I grew up in South Central, which was like it was in the 90s, early 2000s. It was like the drive-by era, right?
Mm.
So it
How old
was.
are you?
I'm 32.
Oh, so you're not that far off. So
Yeah, a little longer than a little younger than you, but still around that
we're
same.
we're the same age group, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah, dude. But I started comedy out here in the IE, so I lived out here for since high school.
Oh, so you moved out. What high school did you go to?
I went to San Gregonio
Where's that at?
in San Bernardino.
I grew up in San Bernardino until like junior high. I moved out, but so I don't know. That must be in a new high school. It's a new one, right?
I don't know, like it was when I first moved there, it was like
So
freshman year,
yeah,
halfway through
because
freshman year.
when I moved out, um, there was San Bernardino High School, and then there was Pioneer High School, and they were building another one. But
Like
I already
Arroyo, they had like Arroyo, I
I don't
think.
remember. But I moved out by the time that maybe that's the one you went to. I don't know.
No, I was a very bad kid, dude. Like not even bad. I wasn't out here doing it. I just was a very bad student. I skipped school a lot. So
Same.
honestly, like I never had those experiences. I didn't go to prom. I didn't have like a school crush. All that shit. I just wasn't in.
Would you really want to date a girl from or take a girl from San Bernardino to prom?
Dude, it seemed amazing though, because I grew up in the hood and it was like I only knew black people and Mexicans, and then like sometimes like a weird Asian, like a Cambodian or some shit, right?
Of Cambodia.
Yeah, dude, I used to have a huge crush on this Cambodian girl named Kathy in like middle school, right?
Cambodian, where's that at?
I don't know,
Cambodia?
but they're
Dumbass.
like hood ass Asians. They're like Samoans almost.
Oh, okay. They're like islander, like almost like Filipino, right?
Something like that, yeah. Like
Guys,
almost like Latino.
guys, I'm not really good with was it geography
Yeah.
or whatever those. I don't know shit. But anyways, yeah, Cambodia. Oh yeah, that made me think of the Dave Chappelle show. He's like, oh, I want some Cambodian breast milk. That is some straight up Cambodian breast milk.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I mean, I only grew up with like, blacks and Mexicans and then sometime Asians. And then when I moved down here, that was mid high school. I was already like, kind of coming
C-
into child
yeah,
into
coming of
adulthood.
age.
Yeah. So it was wild. Like all of a sudden I started having like Indian friends or like knowing white people and all, and it just seemed crazy. And like in my school they had like barbed wire on the fences because we
Jeez,
would ditch a lot, so it was like a little
is this
prison.
is this L.A. or San
Yeah, in
Bernardino?
LA, right?
Okay,
And then when I moved over here, it's like white kids would literally be like, "I'm gonna go out to lunch," and they'd leave campus and just drive away.
I never got to do that because I had bad grades, and by the time I got my shit together, like it was already too late to get like a pass. Like you had to have good grades for a while before you can get that permission. So I never got that.
Right. The problem with me is that like I came from a school where it was so strict, and then I came over here and they were very loose. I was like, I'm just gonna do all this stuff I wasn't allowed to do, so I ditched and
I
you
remember I
know.
got my license because I used to see these nerds like because they'd get their license and all of a sudden all the girls want to drive with them in their cars. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that fucking nerd's got bitches in his car, and I got my license, and I couldn't leave because I didn't have the grades to leave. So I still was able to hang out with chicks after school, but just to see,
But only for like a few hours, because
yeah.
it's like
But what I'm saying is like to see, like I always wanted to when I see those nerds driving off for lunch with a car full of girls, I wanted that to be me, and it never happened. So
Oh, dude, and they were always really cool because they would come back from lunch and they had like a Starbucks cup or like a baker's cup or something, and it was always like,
we had
oh,
In and Out by ours, and they would come back with In and Out. I'm like, fuck, I want In and Out so bad, but
yeah, dude. But I feel like all those kids that were cool in high school, they ruined their lives. They were too cool, they peaked, and now they're like fucking, they're like a mess. You know what I mean? They got like 7 DUIs, two baby mamas, three teeth left.
yeah, I've heard about some crazy stories from like people I went to school with, but I really don't like the 20-year anniversary is coming up. That's how old I am. Like,
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if I'd go or not. Like, I feel like a loser still. Like, I haven't accomplished much,
I feel
Like,
like you had a pompadour in high school.
I did actually.
Yeah, dude, very
Actually, I lied.
greaser vibe, huh?
I used to spike my hair, and then after high school, I kind of had like a comb over pompadour. But I lost my hair during COVID. I think that COVID shot. I'm just kidding. Not never.
I was like, what?
That was my side effect. It's weird though. I never had ass hair, but I lost. I'm just kidding.
But that's what I lost my head hair.
I have alopecia only on the top of my head. No, but I have hair. I just have a shitty hairline, so I don't fuck with that. Actually, I like shaving my head.
That's crazy that you had spiky hair because that was like the rebellious
Yeah,
thing to do back
that
then.
was our Edgar. You know what Edgars are
Yeah,
now?
dude, yeah.
You know, I was telling my daughter, I feel bad because when we were in school, there was different like metalheads, fucking emos, like
Well,
thug motherfuckers.
what I
Like,
think happened is that like now as an adult and hindsight is 2020 vision, and now I can see things differently, and I can see how when you go to public school they're really just preparing you for the workforce or prison, right? When you're going depending on where your neighborhood is, because It's like chow time, and then you go, and then, but that was what it was like. You would go to a new school, and then you would see in lunch, and they were generally,
Like cliques,
yeah,
yeah.
they were generally
Chicas.
split up with like, that's the nerds, that's the jock guys, that's emo kids, punk kids, metalheads.
Now it's just Edgar's. That's
Yeah.
it.
Now it's like everyone's like a mix of everything, but everyone's a mix of everything, but they're all ratchet
Like
somehow,
at my
right?
daughter's school, every boy is an Edgar. They all have the same haircuts. They dress the same. I'm like, nobody's original. Like,
They all think, even the kid that listens to rock
you know,
music thinks he's in the hood,
you know what's
and
funny? You gave me one of your T-shirts. Your little, what's the one you have with the Starbucks and the pond?
oh yeah,
What was
yeah.
that bit? What was that bit?
That was me. I like to call myself a new age Mexican because I still eat pan dulce, but I'm gonna drink that shit with a Starbucks.
Yeah, my daughter, as soon as you gave it to me, she stole it from me. She takes my clothes, wears it to school, and everyone at her school was like, "Where'd you get that shirt at?" She was telling me like she was cool for a couple weeks.
Hell yeah, dude.
I don't know. She has it somewhere in her closet, but I just thought about that. But this guy hooked me up. I gave you a
Edibles.
edible, and then you gave me a free T-shirt.
Yeah, it was really just a trade. We
That was like prison. You just trade for what do they call it?
for
Bartering.
commissary, dude.
It's bartering.
Yeah.
You don't use money. You just trade products.
Oh
But
yeah, that's the good old days, dude. I'll give you a chicken for your daughter. I'll give you
I
for a
told
good.
her I was like, oh, that dude, remember that T-shirt? He's coming. She's like, oh yeah. She's like, oh, I don't know where that shirt is. It's somewhere in my closet. Like she takes my clothes and she wears them because they like their new generation is our generation. They want to dress like us, like how
Oh
we did.
yeah.
All the girls now wear big baggy pants. She wears DCs. DCs are back. Remember DCs back in the day?
DC's
The little
the
skater shoes.
Yeah, dude. Dude, low key, I would always laugh at the girls that would wear like
Yeah,
etnies and shit
yeah.
like that.
It's back now. Like all the girls wear Adidas and DCs. That's it.
Like Y2K shit,
I
dude.
told her I was like, I'll take you this weekend. Let's go buy you some new shoes. I want some Nikes or something. Like, no, I'm fine. She's like, oh, I'll get some new DCs. I was like,
I'll get some new used DC. Like they love thrifting too. They're like cool. They like,
yeah,
which I think is cool, because back then, like now, it's like now they're like aware of what they look like and stuff like that. When we were kids, it was like just kind of whatever. You had like a cool T-shirt.
I was a fat kid in high school. I was a loser. Like it was all I wore was skate T-shirts, like World
And you
Industries.
didn't even know how to skate,
No, I
dude.
used to skate. I used to skate. I was a fat kid skater, but I could get down in the bowls and shit. I wasn't doing no handrails or stairs or nothing like that. But
Nice, dude.
gravity wasn't my friend. But I could rip a bowl up for sure.
And you were dating in high school?
Um,
You were like, you had a couple of little
when I was in high
girlfriends?
school, me and my friend got into fitness. I was like fucking working out, going to the gym. We were going to the trails. Like for like a year, I lost like 100 pounds. Like
Wow, dude. What were you, 300
no,
pounds?
I was like 250, and I dropped down to like I was
Wow,
fucking skinny.
dude. You went from fat to actually fit. Yeah.
Yeah, so for the like junior year and senior year of high school, I was fit. I was skinny. Like, and then after high school, I got with a girl, and I stopped working out, and then I just got fat again. But for a few years of high school, I was a slim Jim. I was probably like 170, 160 in high school, but
Would you consider you said you weren't a cool kid in high
no,
school
I was after that. Like,
after you got like
I used to skate and shit. Like I would hang out to skate. We had a skate park at our school. There was at our high school, at Claremont High School.
okay.
There was a skate park like right connected to our high school, so everybody just hung out there.
Yeah, because I was like I was like a nerd or whatever. I'm like, on
No,
paper you sound cool. You're like, I had like spiky hair. I used to skate.
no,
I
I
had
said
got a
when I
girl.
started, like my first freshman sophomore year, I was a fucking loser. Then I got into fitness, and then just got the women, and then the skating, and then I got a car, a job, like
What was your first car?
uh, a Honda Civic.
Oh yeah, dude.
I saved
You were hot as fuck,
Well,
dude.
I saved up for I worked at Subway and I saved all my checks for like 6 months. I lived with my grandma because my parents got divorced and I ended up staying to live with my grandma because I wanted to go to school right there where I was at. So
Mhm.
I worked for like 6 months straight, not spending a paycheck. I just gave my paychecks to my grandma.
Those $200 paychecks
Yeah,
back then and shit.
yeah, it
They were
was.
like you were balling.
So I was working 40 hours a week at $6 an hour, and
Yeah.
my checks were like 214. So I saved up about a couple grand, and I bought a fucking used Honda. It was stick shift too, and I didn't even know how to drive a stick. I had to like learn. My mom picked up the car and drove it, and then I had to go sit in the parking lot of my high school with my brother. He taught me how to drive.
Dude, low-key, that's how I learned how to drive stick. There used to be a guy up the street who would buy cars at auction, and mark them up like crazy
The
because
police auctions for $500.
yeah, dude, but he would like sell cars like at a crazy price because you could give him a down payment. It was like a you know what I mean?
The
And then
hood financing.
yeah, so instead of a $4,000 car, it was $6,000 now. But you could give him like $200 here, 300 there, right? And he just held on to the.
Was he like Armenian or some
He was
shit?
a Mexican guy, dude.
Yeah,
Just
gold bracelets and shit.
yeah, kind of. He was one of those guys that
Did he keep the title in his name until you paid it off?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
he's smart.
Yeah, classic stuff. And you just put it, you just
Did
got
you
it
get
insured.
repo? Did he show up and take it back from you?
I think one time actually to one of my friends that did happen,
He
and
came
then
to
he
repo.
resold them. No, like I think my buddy, he got his car taken away from the cops, and then this guy went to go take it back,
Oh,
and
okay.
then resold it
Oh,
to my friend.
so he got it from the impound and then fucking sold it back to him
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
snake.
But yeah, this guy, I just had like, I think I had like $1,200, and I was like, Just get me a car as long as it's good." I just trusted him, and he was like, he came back, he was like, "It's got a good motor, good transmission," and then yeah, just dropped it off in my driveway, and then I was stoked. I didn't even notice it was at nighttime, so the next day I came out and I saw that it was
The
stick.
paint's all fucked up and shit.
No, it was cool. I didn't care, but it was stick. So then
Stick was fun.
I just took it out. Yeah, I stalled a few times. Like it was crazy, but
That's the worst is stalling like in traffic and you're trying to start it up again. Like my I had stick all the way till me and my girl been together since high school. Like she got pregnant. I used to have a
in
96.
high school she got pregnant.
No,
Oh, I was
after
like, Jesus.
she had a I had a 96 hatchback, and I'm saying all through high school I had stick shift cars, and I had a 96 hatchback on a Civic, fucking badass car.
One of those kids that took the wheel to class with him.
Oh, I didn't do all that. I wasn't no rice burner, but once she got pregnant, I sold the car because it's a little hatchback. It's like you couldn't fit a car seat back then. Then I bought a
Right.
Mitsubishi, and I just
Like a Lancer or something.
no, it was a Galant.
Oh yeah.
It was clean. I bought off some dude. He didn't want to make payments on it anymore, so I basically paid off the car.
So you bought the lease from
Yeah.
the guy.
He owed like $4,000 and I paid it off and he transferred it to me. So technically he was out of like a year's worth of payments. So this car was clean. I rode that shit for like 10 years to like 200,000 miles. So it finally went to shit. But that was the last stick shift I had was my oldest that you just met. Before she was born, I sold it. I had another stick shift for a while, but it's just like I had like two or three cars at one time and it's just fucking expensive. Like,
Yeah, especially when you have to like make long trips and stuff like that. Like I had a stick shift for a couple of times when I was already doing stand up, and it was the most annoying thing.
especially with a shitty clutch. Like the Hondas had easy clutches. I've been in trucks that have those. They call them dog clutches, where you have to like fucking force that motherfucker
Oh,
down,
yeah.
like, and then your foot's hurting by the end of the trip. Like,
Yeah, you get like tired, dude. Like, yeah, an automatic chill, right? You could smoke a blunt, listen to music, you're like on your phone, just
Now,
vibing.
but I like the power of stick. Like you feel like you have more power, and you could, you don't waste the brakes as much, like, and you save gas and all that shit. But
Oh, I like that when when your car dies, if you just push it a little bit, it gets going.
yeah, I had a car in high school that the alternator went out. So we would do the push to start. My girl would help push my car, and we'd fucking pop the clutch and get it going.
Nice,
Because
dude.
I didn't have that kind of money back then. Because back then I think the alternator was like $200 or $300, and I had to wait like for a month. I had to like park somewhere in the parking lot where I could have space to push that bitch. One time she was pushing and she slipped in an oil slick and fucking got oil all over her fucking pants. I felt so bad, but that's why she's a ride or die. We've been together since then. I'm like, this bitch slipped in oil for me,
Yeah, I
like,
was gonna say.
we've been through shit. She used to ride on my handlebars to school, like, so we've been together forever. Like,
Wow, really? You guys have been together since like
I was like 16 or 17 when we got together.
wow.
We've had our problems. We got off and on. We've split up. We've same typical shit.
You have gotten back together. What was the longest time you guys
Maybe a few years ago we split up for almost a year. Like,
Wow. And I don't know if you want to talk about, did you date or like
yeah,
see anybody? Do
that's
you
when
think
I
that she did?
that's when I was killing it in comedy. Like, I don't fucking know, but honestly, this generation of women is just like, nah, like, sorry ladies, but I just didn't get. That's when I was with comedy. Like that was like when I was year one into comedy. It's just hitting mics. That's when I was like the shit. Now that we're back together, I have to like kind of time when I can do comedy because I'm not taking time away from her as well. You're in a relationship, you know how it is.
Did you already have the idea of doing comedy before you split up? You split up
No,
and then
I was like a year into comedy, and
when you split up already?
Mhm.
Did you think that was like kind of a cataclysm? Or,
no, like we had other problems before that shit, and like I said, during that time that we were split up, like we were still cordial. It wasn't like crazy. We just sometimes you just need a break from people, you know. And then we've been back together for like a year and a half now, and haven't had any issues. So we started doing marriage counseling when we came back. I
Yeah.
was telling my friend about this, and then my wife's like, "We're gonna do marriage counseling, or I don't want to do this anymore." And I was like, "All right." And then the counselor liked me, and he liked, oh, he's like, "Oh, you do a podcast? Oh, you do comedy?" Like he was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
sick, bro." Like
Nice,
he was
dude.
cool with me. And then all out of nowhere, like she didn't like doing
Cause fuck this guy,
she
dude.
didn't like doing a marriage counseling anymore. She was like, "Yo, we don't need it anymore. We're fine." I was like, it's so funny, like, because he would agree with me on everything, and like he kind of sided with me. I was like, fucking, finally, someone's on my side.
But did you think that do you think that it was one-sided? Like he was
No, like it's just women, and like you can't listen. If we had a woman as a whatever the fuck you call him, the therapist, it probably would have been fuck Andy, fuck this, you know, like. But I think having a dude who knows logic and ration, you know, like women are too emotional. Like,
Dude, I think I would argue even like because I've never done that, I've never been through that scenario, but I would argue even like if you had a woman and she was right with you one time out of the 1,000
yeah,
times,
it would
she
have
would
been
be like,
over.
"This bitch likes you," or "What the fuck," or
It's crazy that there's people who do that. They hook up with their therapist, like a marriage counselor.
that's
Like
the dream.
they'll hook up with them, or they'll divorce their wife for that person or whatever. But
Oh yeah, that therapist or whatever, that person is a piece of shit. That's like it goes against your whole thing, right? They could be fired for all that shit. You can't fuck
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
clients and all that.
Well, it's like teachers nowadays. They don't care. Like it's so funny. All these hot teachers hook up with these kids. Like where the fuck were these girls when we were in school?
Now, see, that's what happens. It's like these are you. I think generally it's like women that weren't hot in high school.
Oh, they're not hot now. Now that
They're
they're
hot
teaching.
now, and then or now they're like trying to relive the shit that they didn't get in high school, and so then they
Yeah,
traumatize some
yeah.
kid over
That's
it.
some like that is some trauma shit. Maybe that type of dude that she's hooking up with, the kid, is a dude that dissed her back in the day. You know, like
Exactly. Like, yeah, like now, cause like, I mean, you gotta imagine if you're like a fucking, like a football kid or whatever, like you play football, you're like a cool kid, and then your teacher's throwing pussy at you. You're just like, hey, just another day. You're not,
what I don't get is why do these kids tell everybody? Just shut your fucking mouth and enjoy it.
cause they're fucking kids, dude. Up until you were like 22, you were still like fucking,
Hey,
you'd get pussy the night before, you were telling your homies and shit.
hey, till this day, like at work, guys still do that. So I tell you, ladies, listen, if you send a dude nudes, he's showing his friends. So don't have your face in the pictures.
Oh yeah, dude, and it was crazy when we were coming up. That was one of the like we had to discover that a lot of things that our parents couldn't warn us about because it wasn't a thing back then, like sending nudes and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
they don't know how
How
to
many
work computers.
Dude, how many kids are accidentally like responsible for sharing child images in
Yeah, yeah.
school? You know what I mean? And it would always get back to some teacher, and then they would get in trouble. But you just the fact that like adults were aware of this is like, dude, you can get people in such huge trouble, dude.
You know what's weird? Back then, you'd have to go to like CVS to get photos printed out. So like if you wanted to send nudes for your boyfriend, you'd have to go to the Kodak place in CVS, have the guy see your nudes, print them out, and then give them to your boyfriend.
But people would do that. No, because they remember when Polaroids came around? That's when
Oh
the
yeah.
freak shit started happening, dude. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm 32 and I feel like stuff's finally going right because I was like, I fuck up my whole childhood and stuff like that, you know?
And that's what I said. They say that comedy and trauma are one and one together. Like, did you have like a bad upbringing that like? I feel like I don't. I know I grew up poor. I grew up in the ghetto. We had issues, but like I told my friend this. I was like, listen, you reach a certain age where you're no longer a product of the environment you grew up in.
Right, yeah.
So like that was a lifetime ago, right? I'm from the gut, like the ghetto, like, and where I am now is far beyond that, and I'm happy now. So like, yes, I went through that shit, but it doesn't define me, you know. Like now I'm happier. My kids are good. Like they live in a way better life than I fucking ever did, you know.
Yeah,
So
I think you use it as like and like that fucking hack thing. If it doesn't kill you, it literally makes you stronger because you're like, I've done this before, or a variation of this problem I've had, and this is how I fix. Like you just have, apart from having had all these problems, you have all these answers to shit. So, that's when you kind of become like that person. All your friends always come to you for advice, or like you're always kind of like upbeat, even though you might be going through it, just because you're like, no matter, like, whatever, it is what it is, just another day.
We're men. We can handle stress and shit like that. I know women are emotional. They can't really handle
Dude, speaking of like coming from the gutter and all that stuff, dude, I'll tell my girlfriend like childhood stories that I think are funny,
exactly.
and I turn around and she's crying. You know what I
Like
mean?
when I lived in San Bernardino, me and my friends used to play drive by, where we'd like hide behind walls anytime cars would drive by at night. Like we were little kids, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. I'm like, now that I think about it, I'm like, damn, that was
Dude, when I
dark.
was a kid, when I was in seven, I got drive-by.
Yeah, so I'm saying when I first moved out there, there was drive-bys. Like as soon as we moved out, that's why the games we would play out there, like drive-by. We just do stupid shit all the time. This is
Yeah,
before
dude.
the internet, people. But
Oh, yeah, man. Like, I had a crazy childhood, all types of abuse, low key,
do you
and
think that inspired your comedy? That's what I say with comedy. For me, it just takes away all the bullshit. Like I said, yes, I've been through shit in my life, but to me, it's gone already. That doesn't affect me anymore. I just like to laugh. I like to joke around. Like in school, me and my friends, my group of friends, would all just shoot the shit. It's
yeah.
like hanging out with comics, but we were just little fat kids, Like,
No, dude, I still like there's stuff I won't talk about just because I don't think it's funny. You know what I mean? Because not that it's not funny, it's just that I feel like I don't feel funny talking about it because I'm just like it still hits too deep, like for me. Like, but I like to joke about everything, but there's obviously like stuff that is that I think happened to me or like that I experienced as a childhood in my childhood that still I'm just like a little uncomfortable talking about on my end, but I like when other comics joke about it, you know?
what is this? 'Cause it's relatable. Like there's a lot of people that can relate to being poor, growing up in unstable homes and shit like that. So if you could joke about it, and then it just makes it lighter for them, so they're like they don't feel so bad about it. Like
Yeah, dude. I one of the things that made my girlfriend really sad one time when I told her is like the first time I ever got like stopped by police and patted down and shit like that. I was literally like 8 years old, right?
yeah, I had a bit. I talk about San Bernardino. I don't tell it anymore. I used to have a bit where I would be like, I used to like about growing up in San Bernardino. Like everybody was poor. Like we all got free lunches. Like
Yeah,
and
dude.
and then I talk about how I'm like when we were little, we used to. I'm like like why people like they count license plates when they're on drives. Like we used to look for cops. Like
Yeah, yeah. You
because I'm
guys
like
for the exempt thing.
yeah, because I'd be like it's not our fault. Like because this is a trauma thing. I'm like I tell the joke. I'd be like we weren't doing anything wrong. It's not our fault. Our parents were driving around with no insurance and expired tags.
100%, dude. Like I was born here in the States, right? But my parents, like my mom wasn't, and so they would always be really scared of like migra and stuff like that. And I remember one time her and my stepdad, we were out grocery shopping, and they made a joke like la migra, and I took off running, right? And I was like 7, and then they were like joking, laughing, like why did you have papers? But it's just like you're so traumatized, like
Hey, you said you just said the La Migra shit. I remember when I grew up in San Bernardino, people would shout that out, even though cars passing by to fuck with people. They would shout that out. Like,
oh, for sure, dude. For sure, dude. But it was like a weird thing. You're right. Like you growing up, you do that thing. Like when you're in front of the hood, you always do that thing. Like, what car is that? Like it's not like a car
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
you recognize. So you're like, this is shady.
This is something that's followed me forever. Is when I'm around and I'm out in public, I constantly watch people. Like, I'd look at people like guess they call it people watching, but I just like from growing up in the hood, like you're just paranoid all the time. Like so like when I'm out in public, I don't mean to stare at people, but I'm literally just watching my back. Like my girl is just like la 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 la, not giving a shit. Like I'm very observant. Like I'll notice shit before it happens. Like oh some shit's about to go down. You know what I mean? Like it's just in your fucking head.
Dude, that ruined me. That's the toughest thing with doing stand up is that I had to go from being like really reserved and like fucking not wanting to let people in too close or like anything like that to now I have to be super open. I gotta go to a place and I gotta go try to meet everyone, shake everyone's hand, because everyone might be a comic at the open mic or they might be someone that's running something or an opportunity. So you gotta go and be super open. That was the worst thing. It's now still even the hardest thing for me, being like social about it because people either they're comics, so either they fucking play too much or they're fucking like they're trying to come at you and you're like, dude, I'll fucking sock you, dude.
That's what I don't like is like when you're hanging out with comics and they like you don't know them that well, but they try to
Exactly.
but they
Yeah.
try to fuck with you like if you guys are boys. Like, well, we don't, like you have to get to me, I have to know you to be comfortable.
Exactly, dude.
Like if I don't know you like that, I'm not gonna fuck with you like that. So don't
And
fuck with me,
especially how they always have the outward like I'm just joking, man. You can't take a joke, and it's just like yeah, so many comics do shit and they say stuff because it's also I get it. It was a lot of the comics are like they're the people that felt like they were the outcasts, so they were never cool. They never had like a bunch of friends, most of them anyways, and so then they were also always like a smartass.
Yeah,
Right, so that they would say shit, and then most of these dummies in school that were like cool kids or they didn't pick it up. But you're like standing, you're like, what the fuck? What was that about? So then you confront them and they're like, yo, you can't take a joke. But it's just like, dude, people think that that everybody comes from the same circumstances, so they
exactly.
like to treat everybody the same. But it's like I come from where it's like, no, you give respect to
Yeah, yeah,
people that
exactly.
respect you, and you don't fucking if you're new, you don't know that person, you don't fucking go in on them, you don't start roasting them and shit like
Exactly.
that.
Like some people are too comfortable, you know?
100%. That's been the hardest thing with stand up is that thing that's the thing that's held me back the most is I don't know entirely know how to be super sociable. Even though I try, but also I hear a lot of times that I'm not very approachable.
When I first met you, we talked for like 30 minutes to an hour outside of the show. Like you were cool when I met you. Like
Yeah,
and
dude.
then I went and saw you the following weekend at your show and the improv and that was it's been a while since I seen you, but I liked you. I didn't have any beef with you, any problems. Like you were friendly to me, you
It's
know.
either that, dude. I would either
Maybe
that.
you were high when I met you.
No, I always am, dude. But but that's always like the thing. It's always I think there's no medium
when I
for
when I
me.
first met you, I was probably like 6 months to a year in, and you were like very supportive, giving me advice, helping me, like telling me like you're giving me pointers, and you
I
weren't being a
try to be, dude.
you weren't being a dick. Like
I don't. Look, here's the thing: is like I think it's. I don't try, or I don't try to go out into the day and be an asshole to anybody. But when I get a bad vibe from somebody, I'm not gonna be like, oh, because I don't owe anybody anything. Everything that
exactly,
I do with stand up, for the most part, it's I go and get the shit by myself. I'm not sitting here waiting for like gatekeepers to tell me yes. So I don't feel like
exactly.
I even when it's a headliner. And even sometimes I've had headliners where I'll be in the green room and they try to shit on me because I'm a newer comic. And then now that's a problem, right? Because it's like I'm not gonna let you. I don't work for you. We're in the same green room waiting to get on the same show. I
Listen,
don't need to suck your dick right now.
I've done shows in the middle of nowhere with headliners, and a week before they were doing an improv. I'm like, we're the same. Like we're at the same shitty bar the next week together.
Yeah,
You know?
unless you're fucking running shit or you're fucking and people are always coming to you like, oh, like trying to get a spot or whatever, then I think you can have a little bit like a room to kind of be like not even go out of your way to be an asshole, but sometimes you have a little room to be like dismissive of others because people are coming at you so much that you can't just give everybody the attention to be like, hey buddy, yeah, I'll get you on the spot soon. What are your avails? But sometimes you just got to be like, sorry bud, you know what I mean, and
Like
move on.
how long has it been since you asked to do the podcast like months ago, right? Like
Right, I've been trying to come out here, but I don't get a chance to come out.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. We finally got you on, right? Like I didn't push you to do it. You know, we found a day where you're here now, right?
right.
I've had people who've hit a couple of people have hit me up to do this podcast, and I'm like, like I'm booked out. Like you gotta wait. Like you hit me up in June, right?
Mm-hmm.
I told
It's
you.
been a while, yeah,
I told
definitely.
you I'm booked out through June. So hit me back up, and then wait a second, hit me back up. But I've had people like demand to come on here, demand to do my podcast. I'm like you said, I don't know you shit. Like
Yeah.
you never booked me anything. You never put me on anything. I don't know you shit. You know?
If people are very like demanding, they forget that because just because we're doing stand up, they think it's all fun and games and we're being friendly and fun, but it's like this is a business and I take it as a business, right? Like people like I've seen people reach out to me and then the way they reached out to me for a spot as the professional was like, "Yo, trying to do your spot sometime, let me know." You know what I mean? And then it's like, and then I didn't respond, and then they go online and be like, "Man, Booker's that blah 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 blah," and it's like, dude, you should if you know that this is a business opportunity because I'm not asking you to perform for nothing. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's like if you know that money's gonna be involved, you know that this is something you want to make a career out of, you know that I'm taking this seriously. Why would you come at me like it's like we're homies or some shit,
Exactly.
right?
Like I said, I had people who want to come on this podcast. People who've had their friends asked to come on the spot. People basically begging to be on my fucking podcast.
Yeah.
And then this motherfucker had the nerve to talk shit about my podcast. made a little. I wasn't gonna talk about this,
Yeah.
but I've had a few beers in me, but I don't give a fuck. I had this fucking little nobody fucking have him and some dumb bitch that likes him talk shit about my podcast and my friend's podcast. He was shitting on me, and I'm like, fool, I said I would get to you when I get to you. Like, you don't get to cut the line. You have a little fucking blue check mark that's fake. It doesn't mean anything, you know?
Yeah, but you can never please everybody, dude. It's annoying.
But what I'm
Every
saying is, like, there's snakes out there, so be careful. You know what I mean? Like I said, you asked months ago and you were cool about it, right? This motherfucker asked around the same time, and I was like, you gotta wait. And he was like, nah, fuck that. Unfollowed me, made a fucking YouTube video talking shit about me. And I'm like, fool, it's okay because like you have no friends anymore. You cut ties. All his people cut him off. Nobody talks to him
Well,
anymore.
also, like, no offense, but how crazy is for that person to crash out over not being on this podcast? It's like,
Exactly.
just try to go get on another like you don't have nothing going on that this is the you
Exactly.
ruined my plans.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I have a big announcement to make," and I was like, "Huh? Like the fuck? You gonna come here and put some fucking explosives or some shit?"
Nah,
Like,
but dude, even if you even like I've been booking shows for like a couple of years now, and then people will come at me and they want to get on the show, and you do put them on the show. They're like begging you put them on the show, and then they act like they're doing you a favor. They
exactly,
won't post about it. They won't sell tickets. They still want to get paid, and then they want like a tape of it, and they want like to make them mad. I want free
that's what I
drinks.
said. Prima donnas. Like,
It's like, dude, it's go do your own shit, right?
yeah, like I said, I've done other podcasts. I've done shows. So many shows for free. You have it's a part of the thing. You gotta put yourself out there. Like if I'm gonna come to your show, you're helping me. I'm helping you.
Yeah.
You're gonna come do my podcast. You're helping me. I'm helping you. You know what I mean? Like this shit ain't cheap. All this equipment and shit. Like I put money into this, and I take this shit serious. I try. I want to give a platform to comics. Like
Hmm.
I try to be fair to everyone. I've never told anybody no. I've told people you have to
Yeah.
wait your fucking turn an adult, you piece of shit, and then you're gonna turn your back on me. Fuck you. Like I'm not here. Like you said, I owe you nothing. I'm not here to please anybody. Like I just want to give comics a place to talk. We can talk comedy. We can shoot the shit. Get to know you. Like we're getting to know you right now, right? Some of your fans might not know the certain
Yeah,
shit
this
we're
is the
talking about.
longest conversation we've had.
Yeah, so I'm saying a lot of the comics I've had on here is the first time I've really sat down. This is why I had this because I would go to mics and you don't really get to know anybody. Like you said, you get to shake hands, blah blah blah. You don't really get to sit down and get to know somebody.
Yeah, dude, I just did this spot out. It's called the Harpin out in Costa Mesa. Dude that runs it now, his name is Evan Cassidy. He goes by the Castman out in Huntington Beach. He's like a big local comic there, you know. And I used to go do his spots all the time, like spots all over Orange County. And when I was when I was doing stand up, I never got to sit down and talk with him. But I went to go do a spot recently, and it was kind of like a dead night. But I sat down and I had like a 30-minute conversation with him, which is the longest conversation that I've had with him the entire like 8 years that I've been doing
8 years.
stand-up. Yeah, but I've known him for like at least 6 of those years. You know what I mean? And I was never like, "How's the family?" Because we never got a chance to talk. So yeah, I think that's why podcasts like these are important, right? Because you get to network, you get to people get to come on here, they get to plug their stuff, and it's a conversation you're not going to be able to get at an open mic or at a club even.
Exactly. Like I said, I just want to give opportunities. I'm not a fucking gatekeeper. Like I said, I've never told anybody no. But you're gonna fucking cross the line like that, there's a fuck no. Like fuck you.
Dude, people are awful. Like I do my own thing. I try to stay out of the way, and then still people come at me all the time, or like people are just assholes. I've met really awful people. People in the IE, they know, like, dude, and some of them still they'll think that I'm the asshole. But I used to be friends with people here in the IE comics that I thought were cool, and then you gotta understand that this is everybody's dream. And then when it comes to like making your dream happen, some people like they'll do anything. They'll say anything. They'll treat
Throw you
anybody
under the bus.
however just to make their dream happen, and then forget that they gotta come and, like you said, sometimes you do a big spot and the next day you're doing a bar. So sometimes they forget that you're still in the circle, and they gotta now they fuck so many people over that, like, that's what always ends up happening with these type of comics. They fuck so many people over, they stop getting booked, or they have that bad reputation, nobody wants to work with them, and then they blame everybody else. It's because of that person, or it's because of this, that person said this, so that's why that person doesn't like me.
Like I said,
But
I try to be cool with everybody, but you can't get along with everyone. Like there's a lot of politics in comedy,
Unfortunately,
There's
dude.
groups and cliques that only fuck with each other. Like I get it. Like honestly, I try to be cool with everyone. I don't want to be a part of a clique. I'm not a part of a group. There's like no one out there can say, oh, he's only friends with these guys. I'm friends with everybody. Like everybody I've had on here, I've had great conversations with people on here. I respect everyone that's been on here. Like thanks everyone for coming out here and spending your gas, your time. It took you
Hmm.
2 hours to get here.
Yeah.
Do I owe you anything? And you came
No.
out here. We're here to talk comedy. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like I love comedy, and if you love comedy, we can fucking bond together. You know, like we need each other. Comics need each other, because at the end of the day, without each other, we need, like I said, without each other, we're nothing. You know, like you need to network with people. Like it's better that we all get along. Like
Well,
we don't need to
there's a
be,
reason that open mics are just comics.
yeah, we don't need to be fighting with each other. Like this, let all that bullshit go. Let your egos go. Fucking shitting on someone at a mic or something because they had a bad set or
But
whatever. Like,
but dude, there's literally so many things that are going on like with comics and so many like personal problems. It's at the end of the day, I think it's like also we're growing a lot as people all the time, and it's like I don't know, it's a weird situation. And like comics, there's always a substance abuse issue, a mental illness issue,
yep.
a whatever issue, and then they always take it out on the world, whether it's like there is somebody that's funny and they're having a bad day and now just come and have a shitty set, treat everyone like trash, or it's somebody that like is always having shitty sets, always fucking upset because they're not where they feel they need to be, or somebody that's really funny that just doesn't get the attention that
Yeah,
they
like I,
deserve.
I know somebody that went and did someone's show and they did like 5 minutes of racist shit and the crowd wasn't feeling it and they bombed pretty much. And then he went up to the producer and was like, "Oh, you shouldn't do shows here anymore." I was like, "No, like you shouldn't do a show here anymore. Like, don't blame the crowd because your fucking material sucks. You know, like work on your shit. You know, like read the room.
Yeah.
If you're doing a racist or a something joke and it doesn't work, you're gonna continue to do them for the next 5+ minutes. It's on you. Like, have some backup material for each room. You know, like
Yeah, dude.
I said, I'm only 2 years in and I'm learning now. Like, certain material works at certain places, and certain jokes you don't fucking say at certain places. You
Well,
know?
there's also just weird shit like in stand up that like like bringer rooms like
Yeah, yeah.
there's a lot of shit like as a comic that you think is like uh just like how would I put it? There's a lot of things that you have to deal with as a comic that are just part of it, and at sometimes you feel like it's a good or bad thing, but at the end of the day is literally is just what you get out of it. Cuz a bringer show like that, I remember always used to being like this sucks and people are trying to take advantage of this and that, but at the end of the day, it's like every show is a fucking bringer show. Every show you got to sell tickets to because, like, you put yourself in that situation where I am at now, where I'm trying to graduate from just hoping somebody books me to just like I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna reach out the venue, I can do 45 minutes, book me for this spot. I promise I'll get fucking tickets out. And now for the rest of the 2 months or month or 3 months that the show's coming up, now I'm just having a heart attack because I promised somebody I can bring people when I don't even fucking I live 3 hours away from
You
this.
know what's crazy? Like I've seen people who got like 30 or 40,000 followers and they can't even sell tickets. It's like it's
Exactly.
not easy. Like
Because you don't put yourself in that position, right? Because they think like I have the followers, so somebody should, you know what I mean? Like somebody should use this to their advantage and put me in front of my fans. It's like, no, you're doing everything. Unless you have a manager, unless you have a PR team or somebody that's like a fucking,
that's why I'm saying you have to get along with everyone and network with everyone. That's the only way you're gonna survive because you cannot have targets on your head or people not liking you. Like
get along with everyone, be nice with everyone, network, or say fuck you, I'm gonna do it myself and fucking
that that
and be fair.
that's why I started this podcast as well. Is like I'm like this is gonna open doors for me because I'm gonna give people opportunities and hopefully like their fans or their people will notice me. And I've booked a lot of shows because of this shit. Like you gotta do everything.
People help people that help themselves.
Podcasts, fucking skits. Like I'm not really good in skits. I've tried, but like
Yeah.
you have pretty good viral videos and shit.
Here and there, dude, but you just do, it's all just to get people to come to the shows.
My favorite one you had was, of course we're comics, of course we get paid with beer. I was like, you get paid with beer? Like where
You're
the
like
fuck?
lucky, dude.
I got paid right there. That $20 next to you. You can it's underneath, but
Yeah, I see it in
that's the
like
first and last $20 I ever made doing stand up. So I have that shit framed. I've had that for like 2 years now.
Dude, but then it'll change. Like I remember when I was like coming up and I'm like, I wish I could make $50. And I made 50 and then it was like, oh, and then now Like there's been times where I'm like, I made $800. It's what the fuck? I got fucked. You know what I mean? Just and the shit like that. It's just like I'm saying, like there's things that happen or that are happening with stand up, and we think it's good or bad, but it's literally all just part of the like it's just part of it.
So you say you've been traveling doing comedy. Where have you gone? Like,
I've been
where has this place taken? Where has comedy taken you?
Arizona, Seattle,
I always
Vegas.
want to do Vegas. How's Vegas?
Vegas is dope. I talked about this yesterday on another podcast. It's one of the coolest places to perform because you go and you can't be just a general you especially like Vegas comics, not even they're guaranteed to do well because some of them they'll do local stuff and it's like you're performing at a casino, dude. That's somebody a table over there from Kentucky, somebody over there from
Oh,
Canada.
you gotta like make bits for everyone.
Yeah, you got to cast wide nets, get as many crowds as possible. You
That's
can't just go up there and be like a Latino comic, which I've tried and fucked and failed, you know what I mean?
I only do self-deprecation right now. That's all I do so far. I just do me. This is what I know. But
Mhm.
like Cat Williams said, like you have to make jokes that everyone will get. Like everyone will get. You know. So like that's my goal is to just make general jokes, not like oh Mexican this, because technically okay I'm Mexican, but I'm not Mexican. Like I
Right.
don't speak Spanish. I'm like whitewashed Mexican. I'm like third generation Mexican. So like I couldn't do. I have a couple of Spanish jokes that I had talked about, but like I can't do the I'm a Latino comic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
but then even when you, here's the thing, there's even when you do the I'm a Latino comic, it wouldn't feel right. But even if you did the I'm Mexican, but I'm not really Mexican, like
yeah.
it's still, we all do a variation of that. It's almost um, like, and I do a lot of that stuff right now, but it's just almost how you present it, you know, like the nuances of it and shit like that. Because everybody obviously has a different perspective, but I think once you have time to do longer sets, you have time to expand on more of like more ideological shit. You know what I mean? Because right now you don't have enough time, so you're just being like, this is like the you know, the fucking the like a quick introduction to me, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It's
So
speed. It's like speed dating.
yeah, right. So not until you get like longer sets are you gonna be able to do that. But yeah, no matter what, it's always gonna feel like you're like, fuck, what am I even doing, dude? You know what I mean? Like when you're writing, like at some point, you know, because it's all you said you write a lot of self-deprecating stuff, but it's almost like a trick that you're using, right?
I'm now getting into because I'm a dad. I'm now getting into dad jokes because I have so much material for my daughters. Like it's endless. So I have a few I'm working on, but I'm I just don't know how to intertwine them. I'm still learning how to like segue. Like I'm only 2 years in. I'm still trying to get used to this shit, but I'll figure it out. But I have a question. When you see you doing the road, right? Like what's the worst and the easiest places to perform at? Like you said you've like gone like Arizona and shit like that. Like what's a hard place you can't fucking crack the audience like where nobody laughs or they don't understand your jokes, you know?
Honestly, I've never had a set where I went on the road and I felt like I had a like a fuck, nobody laughed. I have sets where I'm like, man, that could have gone a little bit better. And that's usually like, but not even demographic part. It's just usually like it was.
What is the demographic of your shows? Is it mostly Latino because you're Latino or
It's
is
a
it
mix. It's a mix depending on obviously who you feature for or whatever the fuck. But for the most part, it's just like, you know, whatever is large in that city. Like I had a hard time in Seattle because it was like a lot of white people, right? But it's also that's also on me because I should be able to uh show them my Latino perspective to an audience that, you know, that's not Latino. You know, like that's just on me being so used to performing for
You know
LA and
what's
stuff.
good too is like I like to do this sometimes where I try to make a quick joke about the venue of where you're at.
That's what I was gonna say earlier, is that like you're like self-deprecating stuff. Like you when you're doing stand-up, you find out there's little tips and tricks to perform, right? And then you'll see it a lot when now that you're doing stand-up, you'll see it other people do like you're gonna come out, hey, how's it going? Look at this fucking guy. No, but seriously, glad to be here at this city. Funny thing about this city, dude, then this thing, and then be like, if you know, here's a little bit about me, you shit on yourself for a little bit, and then you get into your act, you know. But the less time you have, the less time you have to
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah,
real.
yeah.
So you're just going through like the quick little
Yeah.
tips and tricks to get them to like you
See,
know?
I got too comfortable with my material. Like I know I have a lot of material that works that I know that works, and I'm like that's what like I have a lot of new premises and shit that I want to work on, but I'm like I'm afraid to fail with these new ones, like because I'm so used to these ones at work that when I go to an audience that's never seen before, I want to show them the
Oh,
good
you
shit.
always want to showcase, yeah.
But then, like I said, I need to figure out like, okay, do a couple good ones, do one that you're working on. Like I'm
Just pepper them in like two good ones, and then yeah, honestly,
the
not even
filler jokes,
yeah,
right?
honestly, not even like it's got to be two of these or one of these, and it's just like literally, if it doesn't work, hit them with something that you know, because all you need them to know is that you can be funny.
They say in the first like 30 seconds to a minute is when they decide if they like you or not. Like, so you gotta
I'm
fucking.
not sure. I think that's women.
Oh, what are you talking about? Female comics or female audience?
Just both, dude. I don't know, but I think that
I heard someone say it on a podcast that like within the first 30 seconds to a minute is when they decide whether they like you or not.
I don't know, cause you can win them over. We've all had those sets when you're fucking shit up top, and then it's not until like 3 minutes before you get off when they start liking you, and now you're like, ah, I just got him.
Isn't it the worst when you like tell a joke that you know kills and then you hit the punchline and then nothing? You're like, wait, they're supposed to laugh right here. They
Dude,
don't.
I kind of like that now. Like now, the game begins. The game becomes like, can I make them hate me and then get them back still
Yeah,
before my set is up?
I have a bit that divides the room, but once I finish the joke, then they're back on my side again. So like, I love that shit. When everyone's just like afraid to laugh, it's all crickets and shit. And then you finish the joke, and they're like, oh, okay, like we can laugh at this shit, you
Dude,
know?
I like doing that. I like trying to get them like to trying to get them to hate me a little bit and then bringing them back. That's like the fun part for me because I know I can get them to laugh. You know what I mean? So sometimes I try to push it, and then sometimes I gotta check myself because I'm like, man, did I really need to curse right there, or did I really need to say that derogatory term? And sometimes I just have to be brutally honest, and it's like, yeah, I am just being edgy just for shock value sometimes.
See, my comedy's edgy just because this is just what I think is funny. I grew up on. I used to like South Park, Family Guy, like the people I hung out with. We were just shoot the shit. Like
Yeah,
there was no boundaries, you know.
but can you still get that edgy, like that edgy thing? Can you get that idea presented to them, like in the because that's the fun part, right? Where it's like think about this, like giving somebody shit. But but if you walk up to them and they see you hold these shit in their hand, they're not gonna want to fucking sit there for you to unwrap it. But if you give it to them in a nice little box, present it to them nice before, and then they open it and it's like you received it before you even understood it, like that type of shit. That's when it's really fun, because they don't see it coming, and then you could be. That's the fun part, also telling the joke and you're kind of like seeing people and knowing that they don't know that it's coming, but you do, right? That's
Hmm.
that's the best part about stand up right now is that I can lose them when I want and I can get them back at a whim's notice, which is really funny to do, I think.
Yeah, because like I said, I do a lot of self-deprecating, and I think people just like, oh, okay, he's not gonna shit on me, so he's shitting on himself. Because like I know crowd work has turned a lot of people away. Like, what do you feel about crowd work? Like, I know like audience members are a lot of them are afraid to sit up front. Like,
Yeah, that happens at every one of my shows. It's always like the force. People would prefer to stand in the back than sit in the front.
yeah, because like I like to engage in the audience. I've said this before. I like to look at you in the eyes. Like we're having a conversation pretty much, right?
Hmm.
I want to see your face expressions. I want you to feel engaged. I don't want to look at you from fucking way back there, you know? Like, but I feel like crowd work has scared people away. But like
I think if you
not
don't
every,
have a reason to be opening up a conversation that is leading nowhere, I think that you shouldn't even be doing crowd work. Like if you ask about, like, for example, abortion and then don't have an abortion joke ready that you know is gonna kill, why did you even do that? You know what I mean? Because the only reason I think to do crowd work is like you're hoping that they give you something funny while you already are leading them to something that you have in your
I
pocket.
think crowd work's already dying because like you used to see crowd work clips all the time online. I don't see them anymore. Do you see them anymore? Like
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not even so much that it's dying. It's literally that's part of stand up, right? It's part of stand up is just doing crowd work. I think it's just the fact that people that don't do stand up, like regular, fans of stand up, it's like a new thing that they discovered, crowd work. So now they're talking about it. Now they're fucking making it a big thing. But it's just like it's just part. If you go to stand up all the time, you know it's just part of it. Like we were talking about, every comic does it. You go up on stage and you look at this fucking guy, look at that guy. This place sucks. That fucking light's fucked up. And then you get into your shit. It's just part of it. And then at the end, maybe you did all the stuff you wanted to do, and you come back into like, hey, we still got some more time. Fucking, what's going on with you? You know what I mean? It's just part of the thing because it's been happening since the 80s. It's been happening since the 70s, just that there wasn't the clip for it.
Yeah. You know, I noticed that the Ontario Improv, it's down the way, but everyone who goes to there always talks shit about it because there's a mall. The,
Really? I like that place.
I'm saying like comics from other when I've gone, I'm a fan of comedy. I go there to watch comedy all the time.
Oh, and that's what their crowd work thing is?
No, I'm saying like yeah, every person from who's not around here is like, oh, like we're at the fucking mall. Like they shit on the place because it's at a mall. I'm like, a lot of comedy clubs are near malls, like the Irvine Spectrum. Brea is basically in the downtown
They
Brea.
used to
Like
have a Claremont out here. They
yeah,
used to
yeah.
have flappers there.
Yeah, I'm from Claremont. I never went, but it was tiny. I remember I used to drink at the bars down there, and I would walk past, but I wasn't in. I was a fan of comedy, but I wasn't like into comedy where I was like, I'm gonna go into this fucking club right here, you know?
Yeah, dude, that was my first club, probably. Maybe one of my first or
How
second
how
clubs.
big was that place? Because
Like,
those places were small around there.
yeah, like 80 people maybe at that.
That's why I heard it didn't do well because it's just no big names came to it because it's too small. Like they couldn't sell tickets.
Well, A, it was Claremont. Who the fuck in the
All the
high
white
in
people.
the IE? It's like who no one's coming all the way from out of state to do
I
this
literally
shit.
lived down the street from there. When I lived with my grandparents, we were like down the street from there. I could walk there, but that place was like I said, that whole new area. It's new.
Dude,
Maybe
in LA, you're in a club and you say San Bernardino or fucking
you're
Fontana,
like who?
and people are like, it's like a punchline to fucking say it's like San Bernardino
I
or
did my San Bernardino joke in Riverside, and they were like,
yeah.
"Boo!" They fucking hate San Bernardino. But it's all good though. But what's your favorite like club to perform in LA? Like, besides the one you promote?
The my favorite club to perform at in LA. Um, I'll be honest, I don't perform a lot of those clubs like on Sunset and stuff like that, like Laugh Factory and stuff like that. But I think I like the Haha a lot. The Haha is not like the fucking
That's
most
Pasadena, right?
that's North Hollywood. I stay in North
Okay.
Hollywood, so that's 10 minutes from my house, and it's not the most prestigious or luxurious club, but that's one of the dopest clubs for young comics to come and
That's
hang out.
Jack, whatever.
Jack
Jack.
Juniors,
Yeah,
yeah.
I saw him one time. I saw him with Ken Flores. That's the
Yeah.
one and only time I saw him, and then he passed away not too long after that.
But that club, if you're a young comic, you can go there. It's Hollywood. They
How do you get in there? Because I saw something where you have to like send an email or something, and I tried,
to
and
the
then
Haha.
yeah, I've never got in there.
That's what I'm saying. You go, like 97% of the time, one of the owners is there. Whether it's Jack Jr., Tere, like
Jack
the
Jr., can
wife.
I do 5 minutes, please?
But you can go up there, you order a drink, you literally shake the hands of the owners, you can build a relationship. It's dope enough where it's Hollywood, so high level talent. It's family operated, so you can actually go in there and shake hands and make a relationship with these
What's the
people.
parking like there?
The parking, it's Hollywood, you know what I mean? It's Hollywood, it's LA,
That's what I
dude.
hate about LA is the parking everywhere.
Well, that's honestly like segueing into like the club that like I book and produce the shows for is that's why we
I think I follow the Sweet Room. I didn't
the
know.
private suite,
Or
yeah.
sorry, I'm sorry. I said the Sweet Room. That's your guys' nickname. I think I follow you guys or whoever. I didn't know it was you, but
Well, I was producing my LA secret comedy shows there, because it's got like a speakeasy vibe. It's above a barber shop that my
that's
buddy
how the
owns.
Flappers in Claremont was, right? It was
Yeah,
similar, right?
yeah, it's similar, yeah, like a 1920s flappers vibe, speakeasy stuff. But yeah, that's why we started there because I used to live out in like South LA. I had an office in Pico Rivera. That's where the club is at, and I hated having to drive to Hollywood and buy $30 tickets for a show, $20 parking, two drink minimum, and ended up being like 200, $150 to go watch a show. And so we were just like, dude, let's fucking do it ourselves. We do comedy. I've been doing comedy 8 years. I can call in favors. I know enough comedians that we could put up. We can get people paid. We can give up and comers stage time, and it's for our community, for our people. That's kind of like what got everything started.
I've
No,
seen videos. It's nice there. It's a nice. nice room.
When I was doing my shows there, it was a 50 seater, sometimes 55. There was pool tables in there. We ended up taking that out. So now it's like a standard 75 seaters. We got more seats. If we take some of the tables out, we could actually turn
You
it
guys have
into.
like a bar and everything, or
We don't have a bar, but we do set up bar out there. And like I said, it's speakeasy vibe. Like we're not even supposed to be up there technically, you know what I mean? But we're fucking doing it,
it's like a
man.
rave, the pop-up raves and shit like that?
Yeah, people like it, we and like I said, we don't believe in on performing for exposure, so we try to get every comic paid, whether it's $20, $100, or like like I've been having headliners there, like I'm trying to get headliners to come in and do nights, and I'm giving them a door split that's way higher than a higher percentage than a club would, just to get them in there. Because first, it's not even about making money. I'm not trying to get rich off of other comics because I'm doing comedy too. I have a company that I'm starting on the side that has nothing to do with like an auto parts company. So I'm doing my own shit. I don't need this, but it's all under the idea that we're bringing high level talent to Pico Rivera in Southeast LA. We're paying comics, we're giving comedians a stage time. We're just trying to improve stand-up comedy because so many comics and producers they want you to perform for free. So many of them will do a bringer show and not pay you. So many of them like don't even have the opportunity to pay comics because these clubs are giving them shit deals. You know what I mean? So this is just where it all
See,
came from.
that's why it's nice when see you know where you come from, like you've been on the other side, so that's a great business strategy. Like there's a lot of producers who just they don't even do comedy and they just produce shows just to make
Yeah,
money.
it's
Like
crazy.
I've been hit up by dudes like, "Oh, bringer shows, bring 3 to 5 friends, $20 cover charge." And like you said, not going to pay you.
One time somebody told me bring 30 people. I was like, I'll just do my own
I
show.
don't even know 30 people.
I do my own 30 people show. What the fuck are you talking about? But that's crazy. The buddy system out here in Riverside, that's how they started. It was some guy that used to do improv. He wasn't a fucking stand-up comic. I'm no hate, but this is just facts. And he would have open mics and he started putting open mics together. I don't know whatever fucking deal he had with these venues, but I think that that's how he was making money. He was putting up open micers, he was pocketing the money, and it's like that happens so many places, so many like people that aren't comics are fucking exploiting comics to make money. And I mean, if anybody's gonna fucking put up comics and everybody knows how to put on a good show, it's other comics.
Yeah, because I've done a lot of shows for free. You gotta pay for parking, you gotta pay for gas, 2 item minimum. Like I I have money, but there's people who don't. Like and even though I have money, it's still annoying to have to fucking pay to play, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like we shouldn't. We're the talent. We shouldn't have to fucking pay to perform.
It's true, and I know, and people will literally sit here and be like, talent, dude. Nobody fucking knows you, and it's like, yeah, but you think that these motherfuckers, you think Chappelle was like giving away tickets? You think Chappelle was like fucking, you know what I mean? Like
No,
not,
I'm
not,
saying you are the talent because you're the one putting on the performance. I don't give a fuck if you juggle,
yeah.
if you fucking do salt art on stage. You're the talent. You get paid. You're
Yeah,
doing it.
anything, dude. Anything that you're doing, like, and what's crazy is it's these up and comers that want shit for free. It's the people that don't know what the fuck is going on, that aren't, I don't want to say not successful, but not as successful as some of these, because I know motherfuckers that are like damn near famous, and I'll do a fucking show for them, and it'll come from me being like, it's cool. I'm just happy to be on your show, and they're the ones that are like, no, 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 you're crazy. I'm sending you money, dude. Never work for free, right? And that's the idea with the what we're doing at the club over here. It's we don't want charity. We're not putting on together these charity shows. These are real lineups. If you don't think that if we deserve to charge $15 or $20 for this ticket, that's our fuck up, because we should be putting somebody on there that's enticing you. You know what I mean? None of this shit is a money grab. We're not trying to gatekeep either. If I'm telling, I'm letting everybody know we don't have a submission or whatever like for shows, but everybody messages us. We get back to as many people as we can. Just like, cool. I ask a little bit about themselves. How long you've been doing stand up? Anybody notable that you work with? What do you produce? What do you do? Let me know as much information as possible,
I have
and
a
then
podcast called the Crimson Comedy
yeah,
Show.
dude. Because everybody's useful. We have a show on September 12th coming up. That's the Private Suite presents the Rising Stars. That's a bunch of
I saw
comedians.
your video. There's a girl headlining, right?
No, there's no headliner. There's just
Well,
like a showcase with one of the
yeah,
up and come.
JoJo's gonna be there. He's one of my friends.
Yeah,
He's
JoJo.
been on here a few times. Shout out to JoJo. His birthday's coming up.
I've seen him on this podcast. Yeah.
He has a he has a birthday show coming up in September as
In
well.
Southeast LA as well, Bellflower, California, at the Stand Up Awesome Club. The manager there, John, he's dope. He is somebody that
Who else
appreciates
is on
stand
that
up.
lineup? Because I saw a few people. It was JoJo. Was it C's gonna be on there?
I'm not super sure who's gonna be on there, but JoJo, I that's a like he's a cool comic that's coming up. He's got a cool background with his father being a legendary
And
stand-up comic.
when I first met him, he tried to hide it, but I'm like, "Fool, you don't have to hide it. I don't care." I'm not.
Well, he has to a little bit because it's and he doesn't have to, but I get why he feels that he has to because he is funny on his
No,
own.
I know that I've met him. I met him a few times, and like I said, he's grown so much in comedy from the few times I met him, and he's been on here twice already, and we've become. I would say we're good friends now, but he's one of the coolest motherfuckers I've ever met doing stand up. Like,
And young comic, up and comer, done cool clubs on like obviously it helps that he's his dad's son, but
yeah,
he
yeah, he's
gets
got
his
a
shit
great
on his own.
mentor.
He got his shit on his own, dude. He goes out there, he produces a cool show at the Temple Bar in fucking somewhere.
West Covina
Yeah.
or Covina. Yeah, I've done a show there. It's good. It's a good room.
But he's a cool kid, man. And I think that, like our rising star is all comics like him, up and comers. They're making some noise. They're cool people, and we just want to showcase
Yeah,
them,
because he told me like he motivated me about this podcast. He's like, I like your podcast. Like you're gonna go somewhere with this shit. Keep doing it. Don't stop. I'm like, I don't plan on it. Like
Yeah,
I got nothing to lose. I just hopefully I don't run out of people to talk to.
yeah,
So
dude.
I appreciate people like you coming out. Like I said, I know you drove a long time to get here, but thank you. Like we need. So I said, this is a community. We need each other. Like
Of course, dude. And also, I mean, it's not like I don't get anything out of it. I don't know how many fucking listeners you fucking have,
it
but
depends. With some episodes are high, some episodes are low.
But
Like
if I can get at least fucking one or two people to fucking buy a ticket to one of my shows or come support one of the comics that I just talked about or plugged or just any interest in stand-up comedy, if you could come throw that our way or whatever the fuck, that's what we get out of it.
yeah, because most of the comics I've had on here are like at my level, a few years in, but you're like 8 years in, and it's like hearing a lot of shit from you. Like I've learned a lot already. Like
That's dope,
I
dude.
like season. I want more seasoned comics on. I just don't like know a lot. Like a lot of seasoned comics, no disrespect, but they're assholes. Like they don't want to. Like I'm not on their level, and they don't want to talk to me. But like I appreciate you coming out and giving me time because you've given a lot of insight on shit that I don't like. Most of the shit you're talking about, I'm like, huh? Like I'm learning right now.
Yeah.
Like you've talked about a side of the business that I don't know. I've never experienced.
And
Like
hopefully it wasn't like too boring for,
no, fuck that.
people,
No,
but
I have a lot of people that talk shit on here because they're like, you don't talk enough about comedy. And
yeah,
we started out a little not we were bullshitting in the beginning, but you've gone pretty good into comedy this
and
whole
look,
time.
I'll say I don't. It's not like I'm like a big name or anything, but like how you're saying, like there's levels, right, to stand-up comedy or whatever.
You're like in college right now.
That's how it feels, right?
I'm in kindergarten still.
And so then, like it's the same way with our club right now that we're starting out. We're a new club, so we have to prioritize like comics, and we have to prioritize them making money. Because if a headliner that sells tickets at every other club in LA, if we could give them a good good door deal, they're incentivized to.
What is a door deal? I've heard it before. I don't
So
know.
a door deal is like sometimes when you get booked as a headliner or a comedian or whatever you may call it, when you get booked as a comedian, sometimes it'll be a flat rate, right? So there was somebody who can be like, I want you to headline my show, I'll give you this amount of money. Or a club, generally, what they'll do, if you can sell tickets because it incentivizes it for both ends, is they'll give a comedian a door deal, which would be like, somebody like in my level, if I go to a club and I have a hot show that I produce, they'll offer me a door deal to come produce my show at their club because they know I sell tickets. But the general rate that I'll get, it would be like 70-30%, or like a 60-40% at the most, with me getting the lesser cut, with the club taking the 70% plus the bar and me getting 40%, and that percentage comes from the door, which is ticket sales.
What's a better deal, to do a door deal or do the flat rate?
It just depends. It depends on like what you think. Obviously, I think if you I'm newer to this as well, right? But I think if you are somebody that you don't think you can sell as many tickets, you will be like, give me this amount of money, and however many people we get there, you kind of like lock in your bag, right? But if you're somebody that you're confident that you can sell all the tickets in there, you're like, hell yeah, give me a percentage of this percentage, and you're gonna get a higher
Where do you feel
rate.
that you do well? Like what part that you've traveled that you feel like that you like do well where you go?
Like I said, I don't think that
Are you
I,
doing well in California versus other? I know you're still new, but you're basically new to it, so that not everyone knows you everywhere else. But like,
correct, yeah. So it's like for me when I go on the road, I'm working on the road. I used to go up as an opener, now I'll go out on the road as a feature, and but so it doesn't matter because it's not my crowd, right? These people that are there to see whatever headliner I'm with, so that's the person that sold the tickets. When I'm there, is like you're either doing well or not depending on what headliner you're with. So if you're matched up with somebody that's good, like sometimes you'll work with an agent that'll give you one-nighters across like whatever the fuck, like across Northern California. You do a bunch of one-nighters, and they'll book you with a headliner, and you're not going out there driving together. You're not flying out together. You're just meeting up at the spots, right? And then it'll be like a local guy hosting or something. Or sometimes it's just you doing 30 minutes, they do an hour, and that's the whole show, right? So it just kind of like a bunch of this shit just depends on like what you can get for yourself.
how do you feel about the like the YouTube or TikTok comedians, like the fools that had a YouTube following and a TikTok following, and all of a sudden they're comedians?
I think it's like fuck it, dude. Get your bag if you can get it. And I'm not gonna hate on anybody because if I could get it, I fucking would too. You know what I
It's
mean?
so hard to get a follow, like just to get views on anything. Like,
Exactly. You said it. It's hard. So it's like if you did it. I don't know how you did it, but fucking
but like
congratulations.
I've been at clubs where when you see the upcoming shows, it'll show the credits or HBO or some TV show, and then you'll
Hmm.
see someone that's like YouTube, TikTok. I'm like, that's a credit. Like, I have a YouTube and a TikTok. You can get credits. It's crazy. Like, I guess you said it's right. If you can fucking get the audience, you can get the audience. But
Yeah,
like,
and also you like here's the thing, everything you have to be of the mind that everything works itself out at the end of the day anyways. Literally like the universe is a living organism. I don't know if you believe in that. I do. So everything it does what it does regardless, dude. You know what I mean? This person might cuz I've been in comedy long enough to where when I started there was somebody that was hot as fuck and they were thinking in this shit and then they fucking petered out and are nobody now. They don't even do stand up.
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why you have to stay humble. You have to fucking like, you can't think you're here.
Or if you don't want to just fucking work really, once you get that opportunity, work really hard. Because I've seen motherfuckers that like nobody knew who they were. They were already doing stand up. They got a fucking clip that went viral. Now they're able to sell tickets. They're backing their shit up. They're on their fourth tour because they keep coming up with new shit. So somebody saw them and they're not just doing the internet skits. They're doing a whole new act every year. You know?
Like, Ralph Barbosa, right?
Yeah, the guy's hilarious, bro.
He, I feel like what he like George Lopez talks shit about him and then just instantly famous over someone shitting on him, right? And I felt like he had to like rush. Like he put out like he's had like three specials since then, and he's talking about how he's like running out of ideas. He's talking about on the Joe Rogan. He's like running out of ideas. Like I feel like he's being rushed, and he doesn't like he's putting out these specials, but it's just like it's too much. Like I understand like people are just like, hey, do
But
it.
that's the demand. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's the demand. That's why I'm like an old school comedy fan. So every time I liked somebody, I would go find their first album, not even their first special. I'm like, let me listen to your first audio CD. Right, so that's what I would always listen to, and it was always some of their best work, and that's just what happens in industries. That's what I think. Like, I don't know if he's been on record, and I don't know if like they'll even fucking remember or whatever the fuck. But I've asked Carlos Mencia in person at a fucking barbecue one time with just me and a bunch of other legendary comedians. We were sitting there, we were being like, "What do you think he did that for? What do you think?" Blah blah blah. And then one of them was like, "Fuck, I have his number. I'll call him." He pulled up. We put our fucking phones on silent, so make sure nobody's recording. Put them away. And fuck it, you're a young comic. What do you have to ask? I'm like, did you fucking steal? You know what? And he gave us like a perfect like not even excuse him, just a reason, right? He was a young comic. He fucking got all these opportunities. They needed an hour in this channel, another hour
That's
in this channel.
stressful.
They needed a TV show for this. You're a writer on that. That's so you only have so many jokes. So now at some point you're just pulling shit out of your ass, right?
That's what he said. He's like, "Oh, I think I'm running out of ideas." But like, I feel like they just rushed him, like because like he got that fame quick, and they're like expecting too much from him. I couldn't handle that.
I
Like,
also don't think that it was that quick, man, because like I know the manager that I was working with at the time, I met Ralph right before he got his huge pop, like right before the pandemic. I saw him at the Comedy Store and we were chopping it up and stuff. I don't even know if he remembers, but we were chopping it up. I'm like, well, yo, what's going on? He's like, oh yeah, I'm from Texas. I'm like, I got a homie Polar Bear from Texas. That's a comic who got viral on TikTok, went on. He has a dope career because he was able to back shit up, right? And so he goes, "Yeah, I opened for this guy." I'm like, "Dope." I know his manager. I work with their manager all the time, and they were giving him pop-in spots all the time. I know that they wouldn't be giving him pop-in spots because there's so many comics in Texas, right, that are funny. So I know that they wouldn't be giving him those spots unless they thought that he was already really funny.
have you done Texas yet?
I haven't been out there yet, dude. I haven't been out there
I
yet,
want
but
to go. I just like I said, I've never been on planes, so if I have to drive, it'd be like a 20-hour drive.
yeah, it'd be a whole thing, dude.
Fuck that. Maybe a road trip one day. But no, but like I said, back to the Ralph thing. I like good hats off to him because I don't think I could put out three specials in like 2 or 3 years. Like, 'cause he's like had a special every year. Like, and like I said, like you have to live and learn. He's still young, so like I think he needs to take a break and like for the from the next special. Like you're gonna burn yourself out. Like could you do three specials in 3 years or whatever?
Dude,
Like,
if I have to, I will, dude. That's the shit that
do you
happened.
have a special or
I don't
anything?
have a special right now. I'm taking my time with everything. Like I said, I like that idea that when a comic first used to put out like an album or a special, it was accumulation of the last 10 years of them doing stand up. So you get a banger, right?
A lot of comics are like resorting to YouTube, just releasing on their YouTube. Like,
Well, yeah, because I think it's like that we were talking about earlier is that like everybody understands that there's no gatekeepers. If you're funny enough, if your content resonates with enough people, you put it online, put it behind a paywall, and that's your fucking money. Why do you even need a
what do you
middleman?
feel about an hour special? I think 30 to 45 minutes is like the new normal. Like, it's hard for like like people attention spans are shit now. Like David Tell, he did a 45-minute special pretty much. Like
Which one was that?
hot cross buns.
He's done, but I think he's done a few. Like I
He
think
did HBO's back in the day.
a few of his specials haven't been necessarily an hour. But even I think that like a lot of comics, they always have that ending
Like
thing and
yeah,
that
like Ken
intro.
Flores, he did like a 45-minute special. His only special was like 45 minutes, but I think like that's like the new normal. Like
I think that's good too, but also that was his first
yeah, yeah,
special,
yeah.
But I think once you get, like I said, it's almost like who you're targeting, right? There's comedy fans that are comedy fans, and some of them that are like, fanatics that they want to see a new hour. They're not even like if it's not even up for debate. They're comedy fans. They're like, every other comic is putting out an hour every year. So you better, if you're not putting out an hour in a year, you're not at these levels. So I'm not gonna fuck with
That's
you.
so hard to fucking come up with that material. As I said, I know I'm not ready. Like
That's
I
what I'm saying though. It's the supply demand. It's like, are you a comic that your fans are asking you for a new hour every time? If not, then you're probably not ready. But if you are, like Ralph seems to be somebody that people want, they can't get enough shit from him, right?
I said he should do some 30-minute ones just to like save himself, because hours are hard. Like
I think in a generation where we put anything online anyways, we're gonna put it online. You might as well get paid for it. You might as well keep getting your career pushed forward by it. And there's always time to pivot and do a new thing with your act or whatever. But I think he's the perfect example of somebody that's doing really well in stand up. They're not saying no, they're not shying away from stuff, and they're still like giving back to the community. Like during all these ice raids and stuff, they put so much money aside to give away to people. Like he said it himself on podcast. I'm pretty sure I got scammed, but I did what I did. He gave out to the community. So I think especially when it comes something like that, you see, even if some people might feel that he's getting the opportunities too often or too soon or whatever the fuck, like you see what he's doing with his opportunities, and I don't think that's somebody that like that it's wasted on.
do you feel like you're ready for a special anytime soon?
I think yeah, I think I'm pretty much like that, like how you said, writing. Like I feel like I'm in college. I feel like I'm right around that cusp where it's just like I'm learning. I've learned a whole bunch. I'm able to communicate that, and then I feel like I'm just right on the cusp of being able to go out and now start looking for work, aka headlining my own shit.
Because I've seen you perform and you're a great. Well, I've seen you feature, or I guess that is it featuring, I guess.
Yeah.
And you do well. You connect with the crowds well. Like you're on, like I said, you're in college. Like I'm way down here. Like I don't have the confidence you have and shit like that. But yeah, like I said, you killed it a few times I've seen you perform. So
Thanks, man. And I've been doing 40 minutes, 45-minute sets, and
that
some of them.
that that makes me sweat. Like I've only done like 10, 15. I've never done more than that. But
It seems hard, but like on these last few times when I've done it, I'm like, oh shit, it went by really fast, you know? So that's how I feel like I know that I'm kind of ready to start headlining my shit, you know? And that's hopefully that's where we're heading, trying to headline some stuff, book stuff on my own. I have this club that I'm booking with, so you know, there's always that, and you know, like I said, I'm starting my own company, so I feel like I don't need stand up anymore, which only puts me in a better position to create because I'm only doing it because I want to, you know, not because I need to. Whereas before I felt like it was my only option in life, like, see, I need to be doing this. Now I'm just doing it because I love it.
I have the podcast, so like I have comedy and podcast. So like if I'm not doing a show, I'm doing one of these. So I feel like I still have the opportunity to do comedy in some way, you know, like.
Yeah.
But sorry, the other day you invited me to do one of your shows, but I had to turn it down. But I was home alone with my little one, so
Yeah,
like
no worries. Yeah. We were headline or I was headlining, co-headlining with one of my buddies. He either features or like you know, opens also on the road and stuff. So we both started out here in the IE. He lives in San Diego. I live in LA now. So we wanted to see what it would even be like to try to sell tickets out here. So we sold the school improv
Redlands.
in Redlands, which was cool. It's only like 40, 45 seats. We were able to pack that out, and it was cool. We both did about 25 minutes, which is less time that I wanted it to do, but enough time to, you know, feel comfortable like I can do 40 minutes.
I said you invited me like kind of last minute. I would have went, but my oldest daughter, she usually watches my little one if I do shows.
Hmm.
And that day she was like, "Oh, Dad, can I hear my friends?" I was like, "Yeah, go ahead." And then
Yeah,
an hour later, you're like, "Hey, you want to open?" I was like, "Fuck!" Like,
yeah, dude.
I told my daughter, I was like, I had to turn down a show tonight because you were out
But
there.
that's literally how it starts. I don't even know if I've ever seen you do stand up.
We did a
I
show at
think
the
we
Claremont
did for
mic.
Gibby. We did like a mic.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Claremont. Yeah.
yeah, but that was the only time. And if that goes to show for you younger comics, it's like a lot of the times it doesn't even fucking matter. It's just like, are you a good hang? Are you a good person? Do I feel like you're not gonna go out there and fucking make me look like a fool or make me like fucking regret my mistake? I felt like you when we talked that you were pretty into stand up, pretty genuine about wanting to experience like you know performing and being a stand-up. So for me that's all I needed, right? Because it wasn't like you were gonna go up there and do 15 or 20 minutes. It's like go up there, do maybe 10 minutes, and it's just like
I would have fucking killed it, but I'm sorry. Like I said, I was home alone with my daughter.
it's good, dude.
I was at the pool with my little one, and you asked me, I was like, "Fuck! Like, what do I do?" I was like, "It's too late to find a babysitter." But so it sucks about being a dad. You know, I got to like balance home life, and I've had to turn down shows, but like I said, I try to balance work and home and comedy and shit. But that just I need to know at least a day or two ahead of time. You
Of
know,
course, and there'll be like you know plenty of
if you ever want me to do
opportunities.
your fucking what's that place called again? The
The
private
private
suite.
suite.
Let me know. I'll come out there.
Yeah, and if any of you guys are out in the Southeast LA area, Los Angeles, Pico Rivera area, you want to come catch some dope comedy, you know, drink minimum, plenty of parking and laughs and drinks and all that shit, come out to the private suite in Pico Rivera. I'm gonna be booking and producing all shows coming out of there. It's owned and operated exclusively by comedians. Tickets are cheap, like I said, and you're giving back to comedy. You're literally putting money in their pockets and helping them grow.
Hey, you sold me at plenty of parking because there never no parking nowhere. But anyways, we're about time to wrap this up.
Of course, yeah.
Can you tell the viewers where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me at ernestoledesma.comedy or secretcomedyshows.com. You can find me at the Private Suite on Instagram. We got a lot of shit popping, plenty of shows all the way from September to December and on. So we got a stacked lineup of of shows coming up. Comedians that are up and coming, like I said, for the Rising Star, or we have a showcase called the Blockbusters. That's all comedians that have major TV or club credits. So we're getting everybody in there, even viral sensations, motherfuckers that are coming up from social media. We're giving everybody a fucking shot. As long as you're funny, that's our biggest concern. As long as you're funny and we can fucking sell tickets, we're fucking in, dog. So ErnestoLedezma.comedy, SecretComedyShows.com, LA, Secret Comedy, The Private Suite. Thank you so much for having me, dude.
Do you have any shows coming up besides tonight? I know you got a show tonight. We got to let you go. We got a
Yeah,
show in
dude.
Corona tonight.
September 12th at the Private Suite, The Rising Stars. We got September 27th, also in Pico Rivera, Los Angeles Secret Comedy, October 18th. No, October 10th, The Blockbusters. We got November 22nd, another show at the Private Suite. I'm doing Spotlight 29 Casino, September 27th. A bunch of random shit, dude. So plenty of tickets. Go my Instagram. Go to the link in the bio. Get a ticket to one of those shows, two of those shows, all of those shows.
Buy his tickets. All right, you guys could follow me on my personal Instagram, AndyC_comedy, and then you could also follow the Crimson Comedy Show on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. Like, subscribe, talk shit, make a video with some dumb bitch talking shit. Fuck you. Anyways, you know who the fuck you are, you bum. Anyways,
Yeah, bum.
you know that bum too. That's what we met. We met with that bum. Anyways,
Motherfuckers, just bums.
let's cheers tonight. Let's cheers to community.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hey, we can wipe that off later. Let's cheers to community and getting along. Oh, you're asshole. I'm just kidding.
I'm so sorry.
I spilled fucking champagne in here, so that's nothing. But anyways, all right. Thanks for coming, Ernesto.
Thank you. The Crimson Comedy Show. On the next one.
Good night, guys.